that completes the pattern part of the skirt. You've got your snowflake ready, all sitting there quite nicely. And we're ready to start adding the 4mm beads. So we've got a nice gentle flare on the skirt, nice and smooth, not looking stepped up. All the corner beads, increased beads in parentheses in line. Your snowflake pattern there. And now we're ready to start with the crystals. So we continue in the increases as usual. So we start the corner with 2B. We're still increasing the skirt. Then we add 1B. 1A. And 1B, 3B, sorry. 2 and 3. 1A. 3 more B. That's 1. 2, 3. 1 more A. 1B. And then of course we do the 2A in the corner. But that's the first side done, and we'll catch up when we've completed it. Okay, so that's round 68 completed, and we're going to step up through the 2B that we added in the corner, which is also the P2 of this round, because we're on a P2 round. Okay, so just as the usual increase mode. And then along the sides we'll need 1B, 2A, 2B, 2A, 2B, 2A and 1B along each side with a P2 in each corner. Okay, so we'll just add the beads along here. So it's 1B, then 2A. These white beads will surround your 4mm beads. Okay, 2B, then another 2A, 2B, 2A, and finally 1B passing through the 2B in the corner to P2. And that's one side completed, and we'll see you when we've completed round 69 on all sides. So here we have round 69 completed on all 5 sides. And on this round, on round 70, we're going to start skipping beads. So I've weaved back to the beginning of the round, of the row, so that you can see me beading this as it's written. Okay, so first of all we pick up 3B for the increase. And then we pick up 1A. Now we're going to skip a bead. We don't pass right across, we go through the bead underneath. I'll see if I can, I'll do it this way round so that you can see. So we pass through that bead at the bottom there, the white A, and then through the next bead. So we've got no thread showing, we simply pass around the beads, weave through them. Okay, so just under there, up to the top, and then we add another A. Okay, and then 1B, 1A, skip a bead by passing through the bead behind it, and up through the next one, add 1A again, one B, one more A, and skip a bead, pass through the one behind it, and 1A. So you're leaving a nice gap for your 4mm beads. Okay, and that completes that round. We'll be adding 3B in the corner, of course, and we'll come back when we completed all 5 sides. Okay, so we've completed that. As you can see, there are little cutouts now. The crystals will sit in there, or your 4mm beads will sit in there quite nicely. And we're going to actually start adding the 4mm beads here. So we start this row by doing the usual P3, okay, in the corner. And then the pattern calls for 1B. So you pass through this A bead there. And then it calls for a G, which is your crystal or 4mm bead. I'm using the crystals, so I might keep referring to them as crystals by mistake. Okay, so you pick up your 4mm bead, you're exiting that white one there, and you go in through the opposite one. So your bead sits in the cutout quite nicely. And then it's 2B in between. This one and the next one. There's 1B there. Sorry, I'm getting my thread wrapped around everything. And the second B, passing through the A. Pick up a crystal or a 4mm bead. Pass through the next A. Then add a B. And a second B, passing through the A. One more 4mm bead. One B and P3. Okay, so that's passing through the 3 beads in the corner. Okay, so we now have our 4mm beads added. We do this again on all of the sides, and we'll come back when it's completed. And this is what you've got at the end of round 71, and we're ready to start 72. Okay, so this isn't as much about reinforcing the beads as well. We'll be passing through the 4mm beads again. Now we begin the row with NC, passing through the middle one of the 3, which we've already done, and then we add 1B, alright, and then 1A, and passing through the 4mm bead. Then one more A, in peyote, a B, one A, and pass through the 4mm bead. Pick up one A, then one B, one more A, pass through the 4mm bead like so, and one more A, and one B, passing through the middle of the 3 that you've added in the corner as our usual increase beads. Okay, and that's the first side of that, and we'll come back to you again when we've completed it, ready to start round 73. So that finishes round 72, and we're now about to start on round 73, which looks more complicated than it actually is when you see it in writing. Okay, now I've weaved back to the beginning so that I can show you right from the start as it's written. So we begin by picking up 2B for the corner. Okay, and then we add 1B, passing through the A, the 4mm bead, and the next A. So you pass through 3 beads, and that's about it really. So we had 2B, pass again through the A, the 4mm and the A bead, and another 2B, and once again passing through the A, the 4mm bead and the next A, and the last B in this side, and then of course you add 2B in the corner for the next side, like so. Okay, and that completes the first side. We'll repeat it all again over the next 4 sides, and we'll come back when we're done. And so at the end of the round, this is what you have. Okay, all the 4mm beads here are settling in nicely, looking a lot straighter now. And in this round, we'll still be passing through those 4mm beads. And we begin with the P2, so passing through these 2 here, like so, in the corners. And then we add 1B, 1A, and just pass through the 4mm bead, or your G bead. You might have to wiggle your needle through it a little bit, and just make sure that the bead sits straight. It sometimes wants to twist. Okay, add an A on the other side of the bead, 1B, then an A, just, you might have a little bit of a job just to keep from passing through more than the 4mm bead. And again, make sure that the bead hasn't twisted in any way and it sits properly. Add another A, one B, pass another A and pass through the 4mm bead. And another A, and your final B, passing through the 2 in the corner for your P2. Okay, and that's the first section of round 74 completed, with beads surrounding the crystals, and it's looking quite nice now, coming into shape quite nicely, and we'll see you at the end of round 74 when it's completed. And so we're now ready to begin thinking about round 75. Okay, and we're still in the increase mode, so we still need 3 beads in the corner, but there's a difference in the pattern. Now the pattern calls for an extra colour, so we have 1B, 1A and 1B together in the corner instead of just a 3B that we've had so far. 1B, 1A and 1B. Okay, this is because this is the very beginning of the shaping of the bottom of the skirt, the hem. Alright, so just keep an eye out for things like that. Okay, and the rest of the round we require 1B, and then we pick up 3A. Now these are not in parentheses, so I've written it as specifically 3A together. Okay, and we pass through the next A along, not passing through the crystal. Then we add 2B, 3A together, passing through the A, another 2B, another 3A together, okay, so we're actually surrounding the 4mm beads now. Another 1B, and then just to remind you, the corner bead is 1B, 1A and 1B together. Okay, just like that. And that's it for the first side of round 75, and we'll complete that, and again we'll come back to you ready for the next round. So just to recap, we've added 3A around each of the 4mm beads and a new colour in the corner. So we've still got 3 beads in the corner because we're still in the increase mode. So we begin the next round with P3. Okay, and now we need to add 2B in peyote stitch. There's one. And when we add the second one, just like you do in the corners, we pass through all 3 of the beads we added in the last round. So you pass through the 3A, then peyote 3 more B, that's 2, and the third one, passing through the 3A, added in the last round. Peyote another 3B, there's one, 2, and 3, again passing through the 3A, and then finishing with 2B. course your P3 in the corner. Which doesn't seem to want to go on my needle. There we go. All right. So here we have the first side of round 76. Reinforcing all the beads around the crystal. So carry on with this and we'll come back when we're ready for round 77. And now we're ready to start round 77. And we'll be working peyote all the way across the row with no extra additional beads or stitches, and we'll be passing through the middle of the 3A in the same way as we do the NC in the corner. So let's get started. Now this round calls for NC in the corner, so we're exiting the white bead. I've already done that bit, and then we add 1A, because this is the very beginning of the shaping of the hem of the skirt as well. Then 1B, well actually calls for 12B, there's one. Now the second B, we just passed through the middle one of the 3A we added 2 rounds ago, just like that. Exactly the same as you do the NC in the corner. Then carry on with B in peyote stitch. 4, 5, 6, again going through the middle A. 7, 8, 9, and the 10th one passing through the middle A. 11 and 12. And then finally, to complete the row, 1A with an NC, so you're passing through the A in the middle of the 3 in the corner. And there you have it, the very beginning of the skirt shaping. The crystals are all nicely surrounded, and we will continue through to round 82 when we will have completed the skirt, and we'll catch up with you then. And this, dear beaders, finishes your angel body and skirt. You've added the snowflake, the crystals and the zigzags at the bottom on the hem. Now just one little tip, when you're working through the beads from the tip to the V in your zigzags, don't pull too tight because it will curl over like this, okay, if you pull too tight. So just keep it nice and loose and you'll keep it in good shape. And next we'll be fixing the head.